Fate does paradoxical things to people, sometimes incredible and tragic. Our fate is beyond our control, even though we entertain the illusion of independence. From birth, a huge web spreads out in front of us, which entangles the space around us in a three-dimensional network. We take our first breath and get to the fork between life and death, survive and move on, getting to the fork again and again, choose and go our own way. But what do we know about the path itself? Absolutely nothing, and we cannot predict the tricks that Providence is preparing for us. We do not know that we are in a huge world and in a huge cosmos. He seems distant and beautiful to us, but I assure you, he is terrible in all his manifestations. I am strange, and I will tell you the truth. Remember, space is not the creator of life. It is a sophisticated, terrible killer that opens access to our world to an evil mind outside our solar system. And they are already among us. They are next to us, walking behind our backs. A man and his wife, who were subjected to inhuman experiments on genetic interbreeding with alien organisms in Turkey, experienced hell on earth. They had no idea what the flight from Russia to Turkey would mean for them. We couldn't save the woman no matter how hard we tried. I lost one of my agents. But by ensuring the escape to Romania and then to Ukraine and Russia, we were able to save the man. Now he is attached to one of our agents, by the way, a woman who officially works for the Red Cross. I won't go into my daily routine, but a significant portion of the morning time is spent browsing news trends, instant messengers, and listening to hundreds of messages. Of course, the message from the employee in whose care the rescued man was a priority.
Strange, sir. The object stays with me. Currently, I use fixation devices, to put it simply, a straitjacket and aggression inhibitors, those drugs that you once recommended to me. So far, everything is fine. But I ask you to send an evacuation group to Rostov-on-Don as soon as possible.
I put down my smartphone. The girl's voice was agitated. The previous agent who transported the man from Ukraine to Russia warned that a program was embedded in the mind of the object. That is, it is in fact no longer a person but a biorobot. We have destroyed all biorobots before, regardless of the fact that they are human. There is a struggle going on, and we are losing in this struggle. All means are good. But I believe someday everything will change, and we will expel all alien evil spirits from our planet. A day later, I held a briefing with the evacuation team. 3 young men were sitting in a motorboat in the middle of the lake. I was sitting in the bow. The location was chosen perfectly. The possibility of wiretapping was excluded, and people were checked and rechecked by me many times. I bought the boat an hour before the briefing, brought it to the lake myself, waited for my people, and we launched it. The call signs of my agents from the evacuation group are Alpha, Valentin, and Beta. Alpha was rubbing his fists, he was ready for business, and I liked his mood.
Strange. We need an accurate location. Is the object stationary or shifting?
I'm looking at the water. Your destination is Rostov-on-Don. Another one of my people will come to you there in the city, and he will fully provide routes. Valentin threw the cigarette butt overboard.
Don't you trust us?
I lit a cigarette myself, pushing an ampule of poison in a cigarette pack, which I am always ready to use in case of maximum risk of being captured. I don't trust anyone, Valentine, just like you. Verification and only verification, conspiracy and conspiracy again. And you knew that when you agreed to work. Beta didn't let me finish.
A weapon?
I've been waiting for this question. You will act only with cold steel. You will get it on the spot. And I warn you right away, no nunchucks and shurikens. I stare at Valentine intently. He lowers his eyes and nods his head understandingly. And don't leave a trace, like last time when you captured the object. Valentine looks up again.
Last time we risked our lives, only I was left of the group.
Yes, I remember. And one more thing. Just an hour before this meeting, I received another message on my messenger from a Red Cross agent. I'm letting my people listen to it.
Strange. I haven't slept for the 2nd day. The subject is receiving inhibitors, but I lowered the dose. The subject is partially out of control. He talks to me, inclines me to cooperate. His language is spoken by someone else, but perhaps an embedded program is operating. I can't do this alone. You said that the program was partially neutralized back in Ukraine by your man, but the program has not been removed. It is working. Are you sure about your man?
Alpha is silent. Valentine is too. Beta takes the floor. Despite the call sign, he is the eldest of the group and the oldest in age.
Why not order her to liquidate the facility? We could bring the carcass or just his brain.
And this question is expected for me. I want to get the biorobot alive. It seems to me that we could explore behavioral factors, learn how to remove locks on our own, or at least choose means of struggle.
I see. Another question. Should I clean up the Red Cross agent?
No way. She's my person, but be sure to check her for recruitment. I hand Beta an ample syringe from my pocket. He takes the ample and hides it in his own case.
Is the serum true?
Yes. That same evening, my people went to Rostov-on-Don. According to my forecast, contact with my person will happen at night. He will provide them with a route, highlight objects and a specific address, ensure, and if necessary, clean up the unfinished. Analytical software and neural networks guaranteed 97.3% of the implementation. This is almost a guaranteed success. All possibilities and nuances were taken into account. During the night, I received 2 messages. One from a hidden support agent, the second from Beta. The first message.
Strange. People have been accepted. Routes are provided. The route of approach, action, and departure. For safety reasons, I am in contact to provide alternative routes. In addition, an agent from the Red Cross is being herded. I found and removed surveillance from her. 2 gray ones.
The second message is directly from Beta.
The route is secured. The necessary funds have been purchased. We are working according to the plan. At 04 or 0 Moscow time, we will report on the implementation.
Initially, it was decided to transport the object in the trunk of the car. The car itself was provided by a cover agent. All that remained was to wait. Nothing else depended on me. I was sitting at my desk, having given myself an intravenous injection of a stimulant. Lately, I've been abusing them, as usual, in a special operation, when a constant sense of control was required. I haven't slept for the 4th day. After that, I will have a recovery period. At this time, I will entrust everything to my deputy with the call sign Incognito. I have already talked about him. In addition, he himself actively shares information with those who want to see through and understand how our world works. At night, a message came from the smartphone of the Red Cross agent, the same girl, but the voice did not belong to her. The voice was male, squealing and breaking.
Strange! You know who I am and who we are? We know everything! Every step you take! We can read information directly from the brain. We offer you cooperation because we can do everything! Your planet already belongs to us. We will make you the viceroy of mankind. We will bend everyone to our will. Stop bothering us.
A cold sweat broke out on me. It's a natural horror. Have they outplayed us again? No, it can't be. I grab my smartphone and bring it almost to my mouth, screaming furiously. Scum! What's with the agent? What did you do to her? A few seconds later, a photo message came to the messenger. A small grey room, a torn straitjacket, blood, pieces of a human body, and a woman's severed head. A voice message followed, an impudent, high-pitched laugh. I clutched my head. Nausea rose in my throat. I could barely hold back the spasms. My head was buzzing. No, it can't be. No. We need to get to the undercover agent and contact Beta. We need to prepare the liquidation. Just destroy this thing. But cold reason also suggested something else. These creatures want to negotiate, promise some kind of preferences. So everything I do, everything we do is right, and it hinders them. It does not allow them to complete something that they alone know. They wanted to demoralize me, but in response, I will become even more active. You can't break me. You won't get that from me. I will not give you such pleasure. It was also clear that the agent in Ukraine was part of their diabolical plan. He was recruited. I opened the messenger for Beta. Beta, get in touch. Evacuation is cancelled. Completely sanitize the facility. In response, I heard a short one.
We are working.
An hour later, the undercover agent reported to me.
The apartment has been cleaned. You will get a trophy of the creature's brain. A container. Valentin is dead. Alpha is seriously injured. I'm providing control and cleanup. Beta has been sent back. Strange. I've never seen this before. We've known each other for many years, but it hasn't happened yet. He was eating her alive, injecting her with the inhibitors she used to fix him. This is an act of intimidation.
I put down my smartphone. The mood was lousy. We urgently need to change tactics and approach, or we will continue to lose our people. This should not be allowed. A day later, I read the report of Special Agent Bet, and I refused a personal meeting. Let him undergo rehabilitation. He's my man. He knows how to control himself, but I didn't want to look him in the eye. The operation was thought out by me, and as it turned out in the end, not enough. I'm just a human being, and I made a mistake. The truth that was proven earlier has been proven again, but I relaxed and allowed myself to think differently. Everything that has come into contact with an alien mind is hostile to us, and the hostile is subject to destruction. I wanted to do something different. Beta's report.
We contacted the support agent on time, communication, routes, and special equipment were provided. When we entered the address, we found a bloodied man who pretended to be asleep or unconscious. Valentin showed imprudence and approached the object lying on the floor, tried to turn it over. He died. During the struggle, the Alpha was seriously injured, and I got into a knife fight with the object. He attacked outside the usual attacking matrix for a human, moving on all fours and standing in a gymnastic bridge position. Incredible speed and flexibility. The creature was hit and handed over to a support agent. It took 5 hours to make the brain preparation, taken out by me for a research laboratory.
At the end of the report, there was a sweeping postscript.
Strange. If there is another such assignment, then I will act according to Protocol 17.1 and resign.
I grimaced as I read this postscript. Protocol 17.1 meant the agent's suicide. Voluntary retirement from life. Yes, we also worked on this option, for which each of my agents underwent special psycho training. We are fighting only alien zombies in human and non-human forms, making biorobots out of our own agents. But as I said before, our goal justifies the means.